So we've got good old IGN. An analyst has said that the Dragon Age the Veilguard is facing an uphill battle if it wants to match Inquisition's launch sales numbers. It's done. It's over. The game is not going to reach it. At all. At all. Uphill battle to match Inquisition's launch sales, says Analyst. Dragon Age Veilguard launched on October 31st, and we've already got a tiny window into how well it will sell. It debuted at number 6. Circana's report on the top-selling games in the U.S. for the full month, despite the fact that it only sold like 500,000 copies. But sure, 500,000 copies, 30,000 refunds, which total to $2 million lost. And that was just in the first week of it being launched. But sure. Just after, seriously, after Metaphor, Refantasio, but its placement on a single chart doesn't quite tell the full story. You think? We reached out to analyst Matt Piscatella at Circana following the report to get a little more info on just how well Veilguard was doing, and he offered some context. It's not doing well at all. Though it might look like Dragon Age is being soundly beaten by a number of other debut titles for the month of October, he notes that Dragon Age launched on October 31st and the chart tracks through November 2nd. So Dragon Age only has 3 days of sale. When was this? November. So this was yesterday. In its chart, while most other games on it had had significantly more. Okay, so it came out the 31st, and even now, I think it just hit like 1 million copies not too long ago. So it's still not doing well. It's been almost a month since it released already, and just now getting to 1 million copies. That's not. No, that. But sure, take any victory you can. Do your mental gymnastics to make it seem like it's doing well when it's really not. Accordingly, he pointed out that EA does not provide Steam data for the best-selling title charts. So while other games, including Metaphor, have Steam digital sales reflected, Dragon Age numbers are only for PlayStation and Xbox. But you can go on Steam and see who's playing it and concurrent and all that. It's not a lot. No one's really playing it. So again, you can do all the mental gymnastics you want. Numbers don't lie. Where Dragon Age of Veilguard's PC volume included, it would have placed Veilguard volume included it would have placed higher on the best-selling. No, it wouldn't have. Perhaps on as high as 3rd overall. Unfortunately, however, digital sales were included in these specific charts only at the discretion of the publishers. For more info, we talked to Piscatella if there was any way to compare the Veilguard launch sales to its Dragon Age predecessors, but Circana's weekly data only goes back to 2018. No dice there. Al Piscatella did have some however, Piscatella did have some analysis to add about how things were going. Just look at the first days of sales and initial engagement levels via Circana's player engagement tracker. It's been good, but not great. Been a good but not great launch. Dragon Age Veilguard did not reach the launch week sales levels of either Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Dragon's Dogma 2. And it will be a bit of an uphill battle to reach Inquisition's lifetime sales. But again, it's very early, and a lot of the stories left to be told. November will give us a much better read. Will it though? Will it? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. No one is playing the game. So unless they start selling the game for a discounted price, like they're doing with Justice League kill the or Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, how they're having the $100 deluxe edition or whatever for like $5. No one's playing the game. No one wants to buy it. So talking about Final Fantasy Dragon Age Veilguard debuted number 7 on UK sales charts, but its first week sales were over 18% lower than those of Dragon's Dogma 2, and nearly 21% below those of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We gave the Veilguard a 9 out of 10 in our review, writing that it refreshes and reinvigorates the storied series with enjoyable action combat, a fantastic cast of companions, and moving character writing. Opinions on it have varied, though, including among our own staff. You can form your own opinion if you haven't yet, as Veilguard is already getting a price drop for Black Friday. Oh, that's amazing. It's like $70, and get ready for it to be like $12. Wait, what? Have fun. Don't be mean. Feel free to criticize ideas, not people. You see, even when you do criticize ideas, people still come out and call you every manner of phobos and ism because they're stupid. This is what happens when you force politics and gender disputes into, like, the entirety of Tasha's character is just her whining about being non-binary. That's just like who her entire character is. Flopped. Turned out lecturing people on pronouns and transgenderism doesn't work. I say they them lost the battle. Here's your problem, BioWare. Hopefully Veilguard has good word of mouth. The word of mouth. Oops, all Tosh. But what's this? Dragon Age Veilguard beats Inquisition Steam record by 500% in 1 hour. Fears Dragon Age Veilguard might be unsuccessful appear unfounded, as the game is already smashing it on. Are you sure? Dragon Age Veilguard launches beat Jedi Survivor to make it EA's biggest ever single. Again, 30,000 refunds. It sold maybe 500,000 copies, and then it just hit 1 million not too long ago, almost a month after release. There's nothing to be proud about here, people. I mean, sure, you're thinking in terms of, oh wow, 1 million. Those are big peepee numbers. But then you think of the broad scope of it, of, well, as a company, 1 million copies over a month isn't good. The game costs $2 to $300 million to make. 1 million copies, each game sold at $70. 1 million copies is only $75 million. So it still doesn't even come close to breaking even. So people need to stop thinking it in the prospect of, oh, well, those are big numbers. Think of it as a business. Think of it as you being the owner of this business. And you create a product that takes $200 to $300 million to make, and your total amount made is only about $75 million. Would you call that a success? Yeah. Didn't think so. I identify this game as non-binary. Game's been out for 20 days and uphill battle. It's a flop. Even the modern audience moved on. Yeah. Yeah. In an age of disinformation and hate grifters, you must do better with your headlines, IGN. I've been seeing this meme all over the place. Just different characters. Didn't that guy from Bloomberg say it was breaking records? Oh, it's breaking records. I could care less about woke in the game as long as it looks fun. Well, looking fun and being fun are two different things. The game may look fun, but then you get into it and you're like, this isn't fun at all. You know, in a game you want to be tested with puzzles. No, the puzzles are a 5-year-old can figure them out. That's how simple they are. They're basically set on journalistic journalist settings, the easiest possible because we don't want the gamers to think too hard. Where do I even start? They made the story not about Dreadwolf like it originally. Yeah, I bring this up all the time. The name of the game was originally going to be Dragon Age Dreadwolf, but Solus took a back seat, so it's no longer Dreadwolf. Which people were really mad at because people wanted to see Solus as the villain. Knowing that he's not a villain, just one of those villains that you have to, do around a little bit, knock some sense into them. But yeah, it's going to be called Dreadwolf. And then they're like, nope, Solus, you're taking a back seat to the gods, to the elven gods. And so, there was that. Instead, it's about your companions. The romances were rushed and terribly written, almost like these people have never flirted or been, they've never been flirted with before. Continuity errors by the many, overshadowed by Baldur's Gate 3. I have more money to waste than I do time. I could buy this, but it looks like a bad time. So I'm going to spend my money elsewhere. This is not Dragon Age, and BioWare needs to consider shutting down. It's a decent game so far, but when I compare it to Inquisition, I can't help but feel disappointment, because it is a disappointment. So many people are just at a point where they're like, okay, well, it is a bad game, but at least we have it. Don't settle for that. Like, that's the reason these companies keep doing that, because they know you're just going to settle for it. Translation: Dragon Age the Veilguard has flopped. Good luck, BioWare. Facing an uphill battle because of BioWare's decisions. It's plainly a bad game, and I'm not talking about the DEI infestation only. Character progression is boring, story is bad, combat is repetitive, only the graphics are half good, but nothing else. And because it's a linear game, you don't get to really enjoy it. They put all this effort into the area, but then it's just stuff you see as you're passing by. You don't get to explore it. It's not like an Elden Ring or anything like that kind of game where you get to explore. No, it's linear path. Turn your back on the Veilguard already? That didn't take long. A mountain battle. But yeah. Yeah, it's not a successful game. Again, these people are thinking of it in big PP numbers. You have to think of it as a business. If you have a game that costs $200 to $300 million to make, and you only made $75 million back, that's not a success. That's a flop. So don't go into it thinking, oh, it has big numbers, because big numbers doesn't mean anything. Think of it as the owner of a business. Think of it as you being in the position of you creating that game $200-300 million and you only made back 75 million. Would you call that a success? So, but companies like BioWare and EA, EA, Ubisoft, all these big name companies that have been around for ages, they don't care anymore. They don't care because they know you'll buy whatever slop they put out without question. And the people who question it and start saying crap about it, well, you have their defenders, the ones who are actually happy buying this slop over and over and over. So while everyone else is like, I'm tired of this, as long as you have one person buying it, they're just going to keep doing it. So that's why it's never going to stop. Never going to stop. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.